Fun fact, sometimes I still have a lot of trouble making these videos every week, most weeks, apparently. Anyway, sometimes I still struggle with stage fright and nervousness. Sometimes I still have trouble piecing together all the right words in the right way to get across what I want to say. Sometimes improvement is still difficult no matter how long you've been on that road. Some days I still struggle to wake up at the time that I'm supposed to wake up, even though that's something that I've done for like 4 years now. Sometimes you're going to have issues with things that you thought you'd gotten good at by now. Sometimes, no matter how good you get at something, you're gonna have a bad day. The important part is that you keep putting one foot in front of the other and you get your work done. Sometimes you're going to have to make sacrifices, you're gonna have to cut some corners, sometimes you're gonna have to take it a little easier, but so long as you're still dedicated to your own cause, none of it really matters. It doesn't matter how hard of a time you're having, so long as you don't lose the faith that you can continue to improve and that you will still hit the goals that you have to hit. You all know that I am a very goal-orientated person, that I'm oftentimes a driven individual, but you also know that sometimes I screw up, sometimes I fall behind. I'm human, we're all human. And as humans, we're gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. We're gonna fall behind. We're going to occasionally take 2 steps back for every 1 forward. It happens. It's life. Stop fighting it. Stop putting yourself down just because you missed your shot every once in a while. I see it so often, especially with things like dieting. Someone will mess up one day, eat what they're not supposed to, and the whole thing's shot. They fall apart. And that's what you can't allow to happen if you want to be the best version of yourself. You have to get back on the horse and just get on your way. You gotta get up. You can't cry about it. You can't be upset when you miss a deadline. You can't dwell on what could have been. You can't change time. You can't go back and fix it, but you can control what happens in the future. That's where I've always really shown my true colors, is in failure. I still find a way to make it useful, to make it something I'm still happy with. That's where we are right now. As you can see, I had a completely different idea for this video, but it didn't feel right. I felt off my game. I couldn't quite get the words out, but I used that, molded that into a new idea and rolled with it here. The message that no matter how many times you fail, no matter what you wanted to do versus what you ended up doing, you can always find a way to achieve your goals and continue to improve and continue to be amazing. The minute you stop being amazing is the minute you let yourself, the minute you accept that you can't do it. Because there is nothing you can't do. There's a lot of things that are going to be hard as hell to do, things that seem impossible. But for successful people, there are only 2 options. Either you'll do it or you'll die trying. That's how you succeed. If you throw out words like can't, if you say there's anything you can't do, that's the only reason you can't. It's because you think that. And I know it sounds cliche. I'm a very cliche person, but the only things you can't do are the things you think you can't do. So eliminate that word from your vocabulary. If it's something you think you can't do, then it's just something you don't want to do bad enough. Sometimes you have to want it more than anything to achieve it. You see this with weight loss and fitness and really so many other things. You have to want it more than anything. You have to want it more than you want to come home and lay down after a hard day's work. Some days it's not worth the work to you, and that's fine, but you have to learn to admit it to yourself And when you start to be honest with who you are and what you want, then you might start hitting your goals. It's something I had to come to terms with a long time ago, and now I like to think that I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at missing a goal, but seeing exactly why I missed it. I see that I wanted to do something more than I wanted to hit that goal, and it helps me with the next time that I set a target. It helps me hit it by eliminating the things that I actually want more and really coming to terms with the fact that I can't do that if I want to do this. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you. Maybe it does. But that's my message this week. Stop saying you can't do things. Stop seeing failure as an end. Start seeing it as a way to do better next time. 'Cause that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'll actually talk about that next time. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, that's my short little rant this week. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that, no, this got kind of cringy here at the end. I'm sorry. I still have trouble doing this sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm human, as I've said, and I said it, or I'm sorry. I'm going to stop rambling now, and yeah, I'll talk to you next week.